So either V or his will verse you. I've got 2 hours, so we should be fine. I think I booked it for 2 hours. Let me just check. What did I book it for? Before we go any further. I think I booked it till 1 a.m. Let me just double check. I did. So we got 2 hours. So we got plenty of time. As we achieve. And then I got to update the wiki, which is always fun. But we go again. His versus V. As we play the final match on the quarterfinals of the upper bracket. 12th man, deepest law, and Maoist's worst nightmare for his. Crumbly pitch. Even hotter, 44, overcast. Wind going down the fielder's length, 34 kilometers. As his is the home team. They will toss the coin. V will decide. V has called heads, tails. His has won the toss, and if they're smart, they will bowl, and they have bowled. So V to bat first. And as always, we have the power play. Sonic to start. As you can see there in blue. The Finno-Korean War to opening it up for his. Lost.jpg is the other batter, if we are wondering. Here we go, first ball of the last quarter-final upper bracket match. And it is a dot ball to start. And waits the call. No runs or no out. Oh man, this is already a semen slurping game compared to our last one. Maybe cricket isn't for the 4cc. As soon as I say that, big hit to make it a 4. Yes, you did win. They won by 7 wickets. The first boundary and the first runs of the match. Sonic with a 4. Bats it away, it's a single. Yorker, but won't work well. It's another boundary for Sonic. The Sanic, sorry, I should say. Swing and a hit. Last ball of the first over. Down the guts and saved from a boundary. 0 for 8 to start. And both teams will be happy with that, especially considering it's a hard crumbly pitch. Loss finally set to receive. Pregnant and Frank coming on now. Fast bowler for his. And that's up high, that should make the rope. And it will for a boundary. Another 4 for Sonic. Taking full advantage of this power overplay. There's 20 overs in cricket. 120 balls, 17 overs. Means they were short 3 overs because they met the target. So they won by 7 wickets. If you were here for the video at the beginning of the stream, you would understand how cricket works. I play it every time before we start the matches, so that way you know the rules. V's kit is very ugly. I'm not very happy with what they did in cricket, not the current kit in the cup, because I helped make that. Fun fact, some of the kits that I've designed in the last 4 cups have had been a 3rd cup winner or winner of a World Cup. So yeah, if you want your team to win, send them a request for me to update or edit or make a new kit for them, and they'll win. Top tip. 0 for 16. This is a good start for V. They're completely abusing the power play. Another boundary. This one for loss. Actually, I need to double check that if I back up that stat before I say it. Let's see. S for S I made kits for. U I didn't make for. Winter Cup, one of them made the semi-finals. O, one of them made the semi-finals. S for S won, and bought it Baby Cup, one of them made the semi-finals. So yeah, guaranteed top 4 if you play in one of my kits that I help make. Charles II coming out now. A wrist spin bowler. I thought that'd be fitting. I tried to give him a funny bowling animation. Let's see if it works. Hey! Almost edged it. Nice bowling. Nice one, Gary. Nice one. Charles II goes again. That pitch is absolutely shocking. Spin bowling is going to be perfect for this. If it's spinning that bad on a crumbly pitch, expect a wicket. Batted away. Change of field. Slim man on slips. The field, the bowler, or generally the captain is the one who changes the fielding, but the bowler is the one who kind of wants to. You can, but we've got 2020 rules on. Oh, they want. How's that? Why are they calling how's that? They're saying it's an LBW? Why are they screaming how's that for? They're saying LBW? No way. Are they going to appeal for an LB? I'd think that'd be mad if they do. They don't. Let's have a look. Was it LB? They're claiming LB. Was it LB? Oh my god, it was. That was LBW. Oh no, it's bat hit the pad. Bat hit the pad and then it hit the ball. Okay, so it was an LBW. Whoa, that was just over. That was just over. I'll be honest, that was some funny bowling by the retard, but it worked. And the projected run rate crashes from 200 to 166, so it's that was good. Another boundary. Loss with the hit there. You'll be happy with that. LBW is when it hits your leg. So it's leg before wicket. The idea is that if you're... No, it's not leg before bat. It's leg before wicket. When your hits your leg, or you use your leg to block the ball from hitting the wickets. So the umpire standing there has to not guess, but judge if that ball was going to hit the wicket. If he believes it will, he'll put up his finger and say out. If he doesn't believe so, he'll say no. Cricket has sicko and VAR. Well, pretty much they had VAR. Cricket was the first sport in the world to have VAR, and they perfected it because it's been around since like the 80s. And you can choose to appeal, where you can go, now we want VAR to have a check, or you can say, now we trust the umpire. These umpires are trained very well, though. Like, it's very rare for an umpire to make a huge fuck-up where it's really obvious. Most of the time, if it's really close, cricket's a gentleman's game where they go, you know what, fair enough. For 33.
Wait there.
And they'll call to wait. So remember, expect big runs at the start because it is a power over. Oh, it's not. If you want one of the best cricketers in the world, that's Boomy, who was back in the 80s, was an Australian batsman. And the best way to describe him is a fat drunk, where he has a beer gut and all he does is just smashes sixes and fours. He was just a fantastic batsman. And he'd get drunk every time he'd come out and play. The current world record for most drinks on a commercial flight is 106, and that's held by a cricketer. I believe, I want to say it's Shane Warne, when he went over to England for an Ashes series, and he just drank so much. He drank 106 bottled beers in this sitting. Holy Roman Empire coming on now. So yeah, this is a sport you do drink when you play, especially on an ODI or Test series. And it's another boundary. And with that, the partnership has reached 43. Pretty much. How's that? That's got to be OB. Umpire says yes. It's leg before wicket. We were just talking about earlier. And that's a huge scalp. Holy Roman Empire gets his man. Sonic is gone for 16. They could appeal, but that was going directly down the middle. I don't think that was going to go over. And so he'll walk. Neil Cuckman coming on now for V. We'll have a replay of the LBW ourselves. We'll just have a look at that. How clean plumb was it? Oh, yeah. Oh, you know what? That might have just gone over. Nah, that was dropping. Yeah, that would have just hit the middle stump. Perfect LB. No issue there. Umpire got it right. Neil Cuckman coming on. Yes, Napoleon is the 0 ranked player for his. Neil Cuckman is the 0 ranked player for V. Yorker, that's gone. That's gone. How's that? He's got to be gone. That's another LBW. The umpire says no. I'd appeal that. I think that was very well on. They say no. Let's have a look ourselves. I think he was gone. The AI can appeal. I have seen it happen, but it's for some reason they're not. Let's have a look. That was a line. He would have gone. That was definitely LBW. Definitely LBW. Survives. Neil Cuckman survives.
Waiting.
And it's batted away. Honestly, that would have been interesting. But maybe, you know, that is the 0 ranked player. You don't want that one out. You want that one to stay out so he stuffs up runs. So it's an interesting strategy that people can do. But I will. 1 for 43 as we enter the last over of the power over. Charles second coming out again. Let's see, he's facing loss. Whee! That's a nice one. Loss missed that. He's a little worried. He's surprised how wide that went. Charles goes again. This one's a bit more in line, but it's batted away. It had to be. They'll go again. Ah, that's well hit. Read that one. Read that one very well. It's an easy boundary for loss. He just adjusted it twice. That one's directly down the center of the stick, so it was very easily hit by the batter. And it's just lifted over the fielders. I think it's one of those odd balls that if it wasn't a power over, it would be out, but it's a good strategy to send your metal bowlers during the power over. Oh, it's gone! Caught and chipped, edge gone! Edged it, had no excuse. That's fantastic bowling by Charles. Taft with the catch there. And we should get a nice replay of how that bounced. 31 out. That's 2 huge wickets gone for V. And using your middle bowlers early has worked out well for his. They have given up quite a few runs in the power over 41. We'll have a replay of this, but that's fantastic. Look where it just finds the crack. Edged, caught, bang. Done. Get fucked. Get out of here. Caught behind. Well done. He's in. Is in now. He's in. Two for 47. Oh, they want... No, it's going to go wide. No LB. Just a leg by. No runs. Ooh. Charles second is looking for us. His second wicket, and he might get it. He's in trouble. Ah, but he finds the gap. And with that, it's a 4. They've hit the 51 mark from the power over. That's a good target. 2 for 51. And with that, the power play is done. Oh wait, is there one more? Yes, I think there's actually one more. I fucked up, sorry. No, it's no, that's it. That was it. I didn't fuck up. Holy Roman Empire coming out now. He was 1 for 4. Current run rate is 170, but I don't think they'll be able to handle it, especially with Neil. Come and hits it. And he finds the gap. He'll go for 2. He feels confident. Wants to go again. Yeah, Don Bradman's the best. There's no argument. Don Bradman's the best. Best cricketer in history, best batter in any sport. They're saying he edged that? What? No, he didn't. I didn't hear anything. This would be a waste of an appeal. It's on Neil Cuckman. Don't appeal it. And they decide against it. Yeah, he didn't edge that. But yeah, Don Bradman's the best. There's a video of him where he's got one of the wicket sticks and he's just juggling a cricket ball with that. Another swing and a miss. The closest currently right now that Australia has is Steve Smith, whose run rate currently is like 68, 67, which is really good for the modern game. And they're just bruising Cuckman now. They're just making fun of him after he got that too. And that just found a nice little nick there for a single. Change of fielding. They respect he's in. Yorker! And it's batted away. Two for 55 at the end of the 6th over. Some pretty erratic bowling there by Holy Roman Empire. Charles II coming out now again. It's interesting to have your fast and then a spin bowler come out. Hopefully just get something. They have gotten 2 early wickets that have helped. Change of fielding now. Neil Cuckman. Same sweeping shot. They had a man on slip and super slip, which they probably didn't need. They might change the man from super slip to wide, and they have now. Same ball. If he hits in the same area, this should be out. Instead, he played it safe. 59 viewers. If you have joined us, I thank you. This is a Cricket Comfy. You defeated AN by 7 wickets. And currently, V is in the first innings. Is 2 for 57. And he's in, has just gotten his second boundary. Change of fielding. Just put a man out there just to... Maybe. The switch up. It's over the top. There's a man there, but he will just stop the boundary. It's only a single. Last ball for Charles II. And then he'll have a bit of a break. Facing Neil Cuckman. Oi, swing and a miss. Gallius and Alois coming out now. As you can see, I made one blue, one red. Top and bottom. I thought that'd be pretty funny. Bowled! Best bowl of his over! Get fucked! He's in, is gone! Bowled by Gallius and Alois. I mean, it's not fair. It's 2 against 1 after all. Fantastic delivery. Right through the left stick. And he just went too defensive. He bowled... He chose his shot too late. That's just a fantastic delivery. Had the nice little curve there. Even without the curve, that was going to go hit him. And Todd Howard coming out now. And now we see a new medal player for V. 3 for 62. But it's a fantastic start. Can he get Yorker? And it's over the bowler. It's a dot. It's a dot. 3 for 62. Gallius and Alias is on a good start. Todd Howard receiving again. This one's mid-length. Finds the gap. There's a fielder on the outskirts, though. It's only a 1. 3 for 63. Neil Cuckman to receive. Might go for a Yorker here. No, instead he goes for a bouncer. Tries to force the edge, but the man on Gully is wide. High ball is called. I agree. It was high. Should change it up now. Should go for the Yorker. Now this is one he does mid-length. It's along the ground. A single is run. They could go for 2. They decide against it. Fielding stays the same for Todd. These batters are in orange condition. They are a bit worried. Todd finds the gap, but there's a fielder out there again. 3 for 65 is the call. That wicket was a bit huge. But can Neil... Bomber Harris coming out now for his. Fast-paced bowler. So his is an all-bowling team. But in return, they have no batsmen. So this will be interesting when they have to chase. So that's his. I think his is the only team where all the medal players are bowlers, but in return, they have no batsmen. So current run rate's 144. Yorker hit. No, not a Yorker. That's wrong. That's a bouncer. High will be called for sure. No, not at all. Interesting. Bomber Harris will go. There we go. There's the Yorker. I was just a delivery too early. Stops it though. 3 for 66. Batted away. Another dot ball. It's a great start for Bomber House. Bit of confusion there from the batsman. Ran into each other there. What? What? No! Did he have his foot out? He's in. He's in. He's in. Unless he's saying that's out, but he's got a foot over the line. He's in. Yeah, not out. That's no surprise there. That was ridiculous. But what happened earlier is you could see the batsman here, he decided to run and he just took his time. He nearly ran in line with his own batter. And then when he got the ball, the game glitched where he just turned so his foot was outside the line. But luckily the wickets were hit when he was in. It was very strange. Another single. I'm surprised they had to go to the Gallius comes out again. Oh, there could be a fielder underneath there. Nah, just wide. Wouldn't be funny if he got another out on his first delivery. That's a good throw. That hit the wickets before he caught the bowler. Neil Cuckman's still out there. Oi, wide. Yep, no surprise. There'll be another ball chucked on. Go again. Along the ground. It's a single. I like how every game we've had moments where the AI's just dropped, like, silly run-outs, dropped balls. It's good. It's entertaining. At least if you're a cricket fan. I don't know if you, for your regular plebs. Not like cricket's the second most. Thanks to the Indians carrying the numbers on that. Thank you. Could be world champions at football, but instead they like to play cricket. Better height. Fielder won't get there in time, though. Change of fielding, though. They now put a man there. Chose to run, then abandoned. But it's a good economy. Last ball of the over. Yorker. They'll get a single. They could go for two. I'd decide against it, though. 3 for 74. 9 overs to go for V. Well, very strange. Very strange indeed. But it seems to be working for them. Patted away. Only a single. Projected run rate is currently 134. Remember, you want 140. 140 is a good target. Cuckman to receive. He's about to receive 20 balls and he's still not out. So it's pretty impressive that he's still in, considering he is a 0 ranked player. Receives again. That's a bouncer. That's it! Oh, but the keeper moved forward. And so it goes over the keeper's head. That was edged. If he caught it, that would have been out. Keeper misread that. Off the leg, actually. Leg bar. That's hit. It's a boundary. Todd gets a boundary. Change your fielding there. Bomber Harris is another single. V have found their pace, it seems. His is in a bit of trouble. Their bowling attack has kind of stalled a little bit in these mid-overs. As soon as I say that, they get a dot ball. But 3 for 81. Mongolian horse, not the archer. This is just the horse, so your day is ruined. Spin bowler, first spin bowler for his. No, that's a lie. It's not the first spin bowler for his.
Wait there.
But, wait is the call. But yeah, I believe the loser of this will verse VT.
Yeah.
Down the guts. Nice sweeping shot. The horse is doing all right. Only gave up 1 run so far.
Wait there.
Two more left.
Wait.
And Cuckman is now causing V to bleed here. He has faced 23 balls and he's only done 8 runs. He needs to get out. He needs to make way. I believe it's a medal player lined up next. Last ball of the over. Batted away. It's another dot ball. Fantastic over for his. Even better bowling by the Mongolian horse archer. But Cuckman was not able to get a single run in that over. Todd Howard will say, more wives, Your Grace, coming on now. .126, the run rate has dropped significantly after that last over. Maybe Todd can bounce it up again. Especially with a hit like that, he'll find another boundary. That's his 4th of the game. I was only expecting more wives your grave to only give up, maybe 5 runs, but... Oh, he's edged it! That's gone. Todd's gone. And the umpire will put up his finger. That was fantastic delivery. I can't believe... Todd's... Well, I mean, that's just unfortunate by Todd, really. Swung at it. Edged nicely. Caught behind. I wouldn't waste an appeal on that. They could. It'd be insane, though. And Todd Howard must walk. 18. Taft with the catch there. Christopher Robin, I believe, is up next. No, it's Dante instead. From the Devil May Cry series. How nice. Well, Dante to receive. More wives, Your Grace. Swing. Run is told, but then they change their mind. So after that first boundary, more wives, Your Grace is really affiliated. Oh, that's edged. But there's not a fielder there. Another boundary. And if they can hit the 100 mark before they reach 15 overs, V will be in a good, decent position.
Wait there. Yep.
Wait was the call, but then they decide to run. That could just hit the rope. And the fielder gave up. And so it will be a boundary. He could have got it, but then he started walking. And so it's another 4. And More Wives of Grace is furious. Neil Cuckman's still out there, by the way. As we see the over. It's good. Mongolian Horse Archer coming out after only giving up run. He will be here to see if he can do it again. But the gap is found by Dante. It's another 4. And with that, it's 99 runs. They're about to hit 100. Mongolian Horse Archer's conditioning went from green to orange after that. Who changes the line. Oh, that's well stopped. Great fielding there. Even further out. Going to encourage a hit. Look for a catch, but it's off the ground. Finds the gap, and that will be another boundary. It's an interesting strategy, but it didn't pay off. It just didn't work. It just didn't work. What can you ask for? What more can you ask for? Past the 100 mark from that as well. Catches the call. There is a fielder there. As long as it's not dropped it, but it is! It's dropped! That could have been Dante gone. That would have been a medal player gone. Oh, a huge drop there. We had one in the earlier game, and that's the first drop of the day. If the cameraman can just see that drop. Yeah, just off the wrists there. Didn't catch the name. Who dropped it? I think that was Bomber Harris. It was Bomber Harris in deep extra cover. Not what you want to see. Yeah, that was an easy catch. But an even more simple drop, and that keeps Dante in. Hopefully he doesn't keep hitting these boundaries. Usually what happens is one is hit straight away. It's a drop ball. They decide to run, then they decide against it. 4 for 104. You will now watch a replay of the such drop. See it. They saying LBW? I don't think it was. Are they saying that when he hit it, it was about to hit his wicket? Nah. Knows the call. And even I don't need to review that. That was definitely bat before ball. Bat before pad. And so we'll just move on from that. There's no need to replay that. More Wives of Grace coming back out now. Current run rate is 138. Can he do it again? Yorker. And a 6 is... Well, not what you want to see after that drop catch. A 6. It's worked for V. Change of fielding. They've now got a man there. Don't know if that's going to do much. 24 off 9 is pretty impressive, by the way. It's a single. Neil Cuckman to receive. He's 8 runs off 27 balls. He's about to be the longest batsman out there. Waits the call. He really is cucking V by staying out there. If Dante came earlier, he's given 25 off 10, which is pretty impressive. Along the ground. Another 2 dot balls. Cuckman, please. You're costing V valuable runs here. Either get the 1. What he's going to do is he's going to get a 1, and then the dot balls that forces him to receive the new bowler. So watch, he'll get a single here, and then when the new bowler comes on, he'll have to receive again. And that would just cuck V even more. So if he gets a single here, that'd be great. For his, not for V. Hit! There we go. That's 1 run. So now the new bowler will come out and he will face Neil. 4 for 112. Holy Roman Empire coming out. Only giving up 8 runs. Run rate's now 140, but gonna be hard. Oh, that's high. Can a fielder get underneath it? He's caught! Cuckman's gone! Holy Roman Empire with his first bowl into the new over. Caught by Gaius Analis. Bros before hose, as they've been told. And Cuckman's finally gone. He's been out there for 49 minutes. 32 balls faced. 9 runs given up. And, well, that might be more beneficial for V than for his. But an out's an out. They'll take it. It's a good catch. Fielder got there in the nick of time. Ran 2 hands. Well caught. Nothing more you can want. Christopher Robin coming out now. Change of fielding. 5 on the outskirts. They must respect Dante. Dante to receive. Yorker. But he got underneath it. That should clear the rope. And it does. It's a 6. Well, they got to be careful when delivering to Dante. He's just been hitting boundary after boundary. And now he's just hit his 6. They really have to be careful. Now they hit. There's a fielder there, but it goes over him. Will they stop the boundary? They do. It'll just be 2 runs. Dante doing very well. Only a single. 33 off 34 off 13 balls, which has been very impressive. He's only 16 away from his half century. Oh, that's a poor hit, but the fielder will get there. Just not underneath it enough. And it's batted away for another single. Finally, a good partnership. You got you got Christopher Robin, which is a star in baseball, and Dante, who knows to use a sword. So these are proper 2 batsmen out here now for V. At their what do you call it? Mid-table. That's their mid-table lineup. More Wives of Grace. That's hit over the fielder. It's another boundary. V will now be able to start racking up the runs with 3 overs to go. 17 balls left, and if V can pump up the score, it will put his a lot of pressure. Remember, his is a full bowling team. All their middle players are bowlers. They have no middle batsmen. So if they can keep the score below 140, that would be great for his. 5 for 127. 17 balls to remain. There is a cricket anime. One done in India that was done back in 2015, 2016. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Sedge. It's like Sedge Heart or something like that. It's just a very generic Indian name. Wait is the call. Yeah, Cuckman's really fucked things for V. But you got Christopher Robin out there. Dante's racking up the score. He's put V on his back and he's going to say, "You see that mountain? I can take you over there." Oh wait, that's supposed to be Todd. But Todd went out earlier. Caught behind. More Wives of Grace is now 1 for 30, which is not very good. Economy is very bad for him. Change of fielding. Dante's only a 6 away from a half century. He might go for it on this last ball. And now he just goes for the single. And no, it's a 4. The foot hit the rope. "12 balls left in the over, 137. And V have recovered their pace after fumbling a little bit with Neil Cuckman. They're now back at 152. At one point, the projection was 109. .138. India is decent at ODIs. Not ODIs. 2020. 2020 is India's game. Australia's good at Test. India's good at 2020, and then the ODI really depends on where it's played. Because like even South Africa's good at ODI, or the West Indies and that. And then now and then you'll see Scotland and Ireland pick a game off England. But England has just been in trouble. The last 5 years they haven't had a good batting or bowling core. But then Australia's in trouble. They've only got Gary Lyon. Once Lyon's gone, we've got no spin bowler. Like our backup spin bowler is Steve Smith and Labuschagne, which is just hilarious. And there we go, 6 for Christopher Robin. That's no surprise. You can technically underbowl. You need a straight arm. So the law of the rules of the law of cricket say that if you underarm, like you do in overs, it has to be straight when you do the bowling motion. But when people release the ball, when you underarm it, to have a straight arm, it's like 20 degrees, which is very, 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 very hard to get any pace of it whatsoever. So you could do it, but it'd be a waste. It's better to do overarm. So you can thank the Australians for that, because we discovered a loophole in the laws where they said it says there is no rules that's saying that I need to do it. That was against New Zealand. They needed 4 runs to win. So the last bowl we just bowled along the ground, so they couldn't do it. And then the cricket world went, well, that's cheating. Let's change it so saying your arm has to be straight, and that fixes it. Charles II. Like, there's people who toss the ball are people that are considered that don't have an arm straight. There's a famous Sri Lankan bowler who, because of his funny arm, people think he would toss it. So he would have an apparatus on his arm to force it to be straight, and he was still bowling fast. And it was just pretty much a whole fuck you to like Cricket Australia and England and all that. There kind of is. There are people that kind of bowl sidearm. Oh yeah, it was disgusting. I completely disagree with it. That's against the spirit of the game. Like, I don't know if people remember that old South African player. Dante hit 50, by the way, from 21 balls, which is probably a record here. 5 for 150. Oh, this is the last over. 4 balls left. Dante has really bailed out the team in these last 4 overs. All it took was Neil Cuckman to get out and Dante to come in, and doing so has just freed up V. Two balls to go. 555. Another single. I made V all dark skin characters for some reason, because for halfway when I was making them I thought I was doing B. Then I realized, oh wait, I'm not doing B, I'm doing V. But then I was too lazy to go back and change all the skin colors. So I went, yeah, it's fine. Also, the PS4 and 5 is black, so that kind of makes sense. But that's the end of V's overs. As you can see, Dante, the only player to make half century with 51 off 22 balls, which is very impressive. But we'll change the fielding. 158 the target for his. It's a very easy defendable target for V. It will just be interesting to see how their bowling goes. In the power over, Sonic was 16, LBW 31 by loss. Cuckman was 9, but he was out there for a long time, the longest receiver. He's in for 11. He was bowled by Gallius. And then Todd Howard was gone for 18. But it's a great half century. Holy Roman Empire to start the batting here. He is a bowler, though. So a reminder that his is a complete bowling medal team. They have no batsmen. So once their medal's gone, because even though they are ranked 99 and all that, no fun allowed coming out first. And it is a power over play. So the first 5 overs in the game, all the fielders but 2 have to be in the inner circle. So it encourages boundaries and 6 and big hits. Like so. Boundary to start it off. Holy Roman Empire will be happy with that. .147 kilometers an hour as well off the first ball. 154 off 119. It's a good start. Then again, Ronaldo had a good start. Oh, and it's over the keeper's head. And it's another boundary. And Mongolian Horse, your day is ruined if you're joining us, by the way, is out there. Not the Archer, though. The Archer fell off. He didn't make the height requirement, so only the Horse is there.
Wait there.
Along the ground. Where are the anime girls? The anime girls don't play today. Will we have enough time? Unless everyone gets out within the next 10 minutes, we probably won't have enough time.
Wait.
And it's a decent hitting option. Wait is the call. They did. The loser of this game will verse A, I think.
Waiting.
No, the loser of this game versus VT, and the winner of this will verse U. That means 4. So when they sweep, it's a 4. When it's 2 fingers up in the air, that's 6. When it's 1 finger in the air, that means he's out. And a shake of the head means, nah, he's not out. What the fuck do you, what do you want? As very rude stumping after the first over. But 10 from the first over. Good start for his. Mongolian Horse finally receiving a ball. Strength versus Dext, medium pace bowler. And the controller died. Well, it had been a while since it died, so let's reconnect it. Required run rate is only 7.79. Current run rate is 10.
Waiting.
And it's patted away. Oh, that's a nice fan. There's a fielder there, but he can't reach to it in time. It will be a boundary for the Horse. As we watch a replay of the first boundary for Mongolian Horse Archer. He'll be happy with that. Strength versus Dex on a decent roll so far. 144 needed off 112 runs.
Wait there.
Down the line, wait is the call. The batter's in orange condition. They are bowlers, so they aren't used to being opening batsmen. But with shots like these, they're doing well. Single given up. That allows Holy Roman Empire to face. Actually, Mongolian Horse Archer isn't a bowler. He is a proper batsman. He's just 77 ranked. He's a non-medal. But Holy Roman Empire to face.
Wait.
Go again. That's high. That should go over the fielder. Unless he... Oh, what a catch! What a catch! Holy Roman Empire was caught by Todd Howard in a fantastic leap. I thought maybe that was going to go over the fielder's head, but that was an amazing catch. Holy Roman Empire is gone after 7 minutes. He's gone for 10. Have a look at this. What a catch. Over his head. Beautiful two hands. Todd Howard is very happy with that. And that was the last ball of the over there. Napoleon coming out, the 0 ranked player for his. As you can see, he is a bit of a man. Sonic, gold medal, fast bowler. And Napoleon will face him. This will be interesting. And with that, he might get a boundary. No, he kept that in. Bit of confusion in the middle. But they run for 2. High is the call as well, because he is tiny, so that's not fair. 2 to start. Napoleon off to a good start.
Wait.
The schedule is here. It's every Wednesday, although if I feel like it, I try and do tomorrow and Friday as well. But I have dinner tomorrow. I'm going out for another date. If any of you live in Australia on the West Coast and want to get fucked by an Aussie, give me a call. Mongolian horse to face.
Wait.
Oh, that was nearly caught, but it was just dropped. His is doing okay. They probably want a couple more runs. V was smart. They send in the medal bowler in the 3rd over. At the end of the power play, V were 1 for 60. So if his can get the same, they'll be fine. But they're a bit behind the pace. End of the 1st over. Oh man, core cats. I think I got a core cat somewhere in my garage if I look for it. Current run rate is 6.3. They need a run rate of 8.18. So they need a 6 and a 4 pretty much every over. And that's the 4 out of the way. So a good start. And with that, Mongolian horse conditioning goes from orange to green. So in cricket, there is conditioning. There's black, orange, and green. So green's best conditioning. Orange means you're a little bit nervous. Black means you have no confidence whatsoever. And usually that always results in a wicket or a run out. That's batted high. And Napoleon will get another boundary. Oh no, last time he only got 3, but he will get a boundary. Oh man, I do miss my original roommate. He now lives over east. I've been trying to go see him, but thanks to all the COVID stuff, it has been very hard. Oh wow, Napoleon has just hit 2 boundaries back to back. This has not been a good over for strength versus dex. Then again, he did get a wicket on his last ball. But Napoleon is bailing out his 0 ranked player. He's done better than Cuckman. He'll get another boundary. I don't believe this. It took Cuckman 35 balls to get Napoleon's current score. He didn't even make Napoleon's score. Napoleon's beat him in 6 balls. This is amazing.
Waiting.
He's so tiny. I love how tiny Napoleon is. But it's a good over. Napoleon has put his in a winnable run rate now after that over. Hito Kojima coming on. He's the spin bowler for V. He's supposed to have glasses, but I guess it doesn't count when he bowls. That's a bit weird. And batted away for a single. Change of fielding. This is the last power over, by the way. So after this, the fielders can go back to normal position. Sweeping shot, but nothing comes of it. He's got a tiny, tiny head. Love it. He's in great form as well. 15 off 8.
Wait there.
Waits the call. Will be interesting. Spin bowlers usually get the 0 ranked players out very quickly. Because it's just a bit more finesse. It's hit. Oh, I'd be surprised if he catches that. Nah. It's another boundary. Napoleon's on 19. Imagine that. Imagine if the 0 ranked player becomes the highest run. Right, that'd be the big upset here today. One for 41. Last bowl of the super over. And that's it. 1 for 41 after 5 overs. Current run rate is good, but the power over play is finished. I believe V at this time were 1 for 51, I believe. 8 for 22 is the current run rate. They only need 7.2. It's a single. Mongolian horse gets a single. It's interesting they sent out Strength versus Dex again. They have 4 behind Napoleon, though. They are looking... They got a man on Gully. Oh, as soon as I say that, they changed their fielding. Swing and a miss. Wonder if high is going to be called. Yeah, wide, because he's so tiny. 200 IQ strat here. If it just means another free ball here.
Wait there.
Waits the call though. Yorker. There's a fielder there. Oh, he dropped it though. I believe that's a dropped catch, but they won't show the replay. It must have gone off the ground, so it wasn't a drop catch at all. Never mind. 2 balls left. Oh, right in the nuts. They're screaming for how's that? Ref says no, it was going to bounce over. They could appeal. He is short. That might have just skimmed the stumps. They decide against it. We'll have a replay. We'll have a look ourselves. Was that in line? He is a tiny man, we have to remember. That was going over. Yep, correct call by the umpire. He might be small, but he's not that small. And that's hit. Does it beat the fielder? Yeah, the fielder stopped and turned around. And it allowed Napoleon to get a boundary. He's on 24. Amazing. An inspiration to 0 ranked players everywhere. Sonic coming out now. Maybe he can put Napoleon in his place. Current run rate is 7.8. Required is 7.9, so they need to get a couple more on the board. Which is funny, because Mongolian horse just gets his single, and then he looks for Napoleon to do the heavy work. High call there. Can Sonic get Napoleon?
Yep.
They force a single. Could go for 2, they decide against it. Sonic is 06.
Wait.
Dot ball though. 142 the last delivery. That was not too bad. Found the gap. Won't beat the far man though. It's just a single. They need 7 and over. So they need a boundary or 2 really. 108 off 80 balls. His pace has dropped off a little bit at the start of the over. Down the centre. So another single. 1 for 51. And that's gone for 4. Mongolian found a straight edge. He's doing well. They have none of their medal batters out right now. This is a 0 ranked player and a 77 non-medal. I would like to have a medal out there though. And I'm sure his would as well. They hit the required run rate at the end of the over though. Kojima coming back out now. Only gave up 5 runs in his first over. Can he do it again? 155. Check him. Catches the call. Fielder won't get there. In fact, he even dropped it. They go for a second. Well, that was costly there for V. It was off the ground. It was a bouncer. Off his arm, then he kicked it. How far is the space? The length of a cricket ball, so it's about 8 centimeters. Along the ground. 8 centimeters? No, it's half that. It's about 8 centimeters, 7.5, around there. Just high. Off the pat and off the bat. Kojima getting these dot balls. 101 off 75 needed. Another nut shot. Jesus Christ. That's 2 nut shots in a row, I'm pretty sure. Yep, that's the first one. Nut shot for Napoleon there. And another nut shot there. So that's 2 nut shots in a row Napoleon has received. One set of wickets to the other. Oh my god. What is it? It's like 10... 20 meters? I'd say 20 meters.
Yep. Boom.
It's like 20 yards or 20 meters, one of the two. But that was good for Kojima. He slowed down the run rate there. He did his job as a spin bowler. Wasn't looking for the out. I mean, maybe he was, but he just kept hitting him in the nuts. Cried run rate is 8.3. Current run rate is 7.25. They need to get a medal out here. But while Neil Cuckman was cucking V, at least Napoleon's getting runs. 1 for 59. Sonic's out here again.
Wait.
Waits the call. Imagine having stupid blue hair like that. Batted away, but he found his boundary. That's what they needed. Another one would do wonders. 1 for 63. Another single. Bit more relaxed this game. There hasn't really been many crazy shots or hits. So I guess the surprise is Napoleon's still out there, considering he's a 0-ranked player. His is doing a run rate, or is chasing with none of their bowlers, none of their batters. Sorry. Well, I mean their bowlers are the medals who maybe you don't want to bat. That is over the top. They can't get underneath it. It's another single. And that's 50 runs from 42 balls. It's a good partnership from Napoleon and the Mongolian horse archer. A non-medal and a 77. But they need to pick up the pace. He's in. Is in. 93 off 66. So it's still a very doable target, but they need to get more boundaries. They need a middle player out here. That means they need someone gone. He ducks. Wide is the call. So a free hit will occur. And one is taken off the target. Only 92 now needed. No, it's not a free hit. It's just a wide. Fielder could get underneath it. Instead, it's only a single. Smart fielding here by V. Remember, the winner of this will go off to verse VT. Will verse you, which we'll probably do tomorrow. I'll need to book in a time, though. No, I can't do it tomorrow because I'm having dinner. So we'll do it... I don't know when we'll do it. I'll have to think it. It'll probably be next week. Means we're running out of days in January to do it. Bat it away. Still 3 more to go. 90 off 63. Run rate is high. They need to get some boundaries here. Another cheeky single. Last ball of the over. And then we hit the halfway mark. And wait is the call. 1 for 69 as we're at the halfway mark. At this rate, his need to double their current run rate or score. It won't be enough what they're currently on. Lost JPEG coming out now. 89 needed of 60 balls. So they need their current runs plus another 20. That's going to be a big ask, but not with a hit like that. Fielder keeps it in, though. It's another single. Napoleon is going for these boundaries, but he just doesn't have the strength to get it because he is a 0-ranked player. Along the ground. Another single. Oh.
Wait there.
And defensive batting there. Waits the call. Another single. Well, Neil Cuckman might have cut V, but at least they had Dante to bail them out. His need one of these people gone to maybe get a medal player to assist them or to start hitting boundaries. Like so. There we go. They needed that. They definitely needed that. It's a 4. It's been a while since we've seen one. And it's another 4. Well, that was a huge help to their run target there. Mongolian Horse in that too is now joined Napoleon. Or maybe Sonic. Oh, that wasn't Sonic. Maybe Lost was just getting a bit too aggressive there. He's in, back out now. He only gave up 4 runs. 78, needed 54. Required run is 8.6, current run rate 7.27. Along the ground, it's a single. Napoleon always does that. He always gets the first ball in the over a single. Mongolian to face. Oh, the keeper could have caught that. The keeper was too busy clapping, and in doing so, it's another boundary. Not what they needed. That could have been an out. Instead, he applauded, and it went over his head. Well, he's in. He's already done +1 from his last over. That's a big hit. Big hit by the Mongolian Horse Archer. It's another boundary. And a no ball as well is the call. His foot must have stepped over the line. It did. So it's also a free hit on the next delivery. Bad along the ground, only a single. No, they don't even run it. Mongolian Horse only 8 off a half century. A reminder, this is a 0 ranked player and a 77 non-medal. This has been very impressive. 68 of 51 balls. Still 3 to go in the over. Battle on the ground, another single. Crowd getting a bit patient here. Very quiet as well. Oh! That was just... They asking for LB. Ref says no. I think that was just wide. They will have a chat. Oh, we're going to see a review. The first review of the tournament. Let's have a look. How's the delivery? It's good. Delivery's good. That's no problem there. It's definitely off the pad. Is it in line? Let's have a look. What has VAR said? Was that going to hit the wickets? That's a good length. It didn't hit his bat. That's not the issue here. The issue is that in line? Or was that going high? Let's have a look. Original decision is not out. Offside off. Impact is offside off. Wicket is hitting. How close is that? It's a good height. Oh, that's tight. That is tight. Umpire's decision. Not enough to go overturn, and that's it. That's the that's the challenge done. So even though that was hitting, the idea is they want another LB. Ref says no again. And that was back before, but I don't even have to review that one. So in the rules of cricket, if the length, from VAR, it hits the wicket, if it's half a cricket ball close, they say it can be possible computer error, go with the original decision, or it's the umpire's discretion. So that was less than half a cricket ball. So the umpire stuck with his original decision, even after reviewing. And that's another boundary. But that was very close. Very, very close. But his fight to stay alive, and it's another boundary. But it's nice to see that there is challenges done by the AI. Bouncer. Force the hit. Can a fielder get underneath it? No. Only a single. Mongolian horse only 2 away. Napoleon 35, 1 for 96. No fun allowed. Hit. It's in between the two fielders. Wait is the call. It is a drop ball. They could have snuck another run there. 140.3 kilometers. That was a fast delivery. Let's have a replay of that again. And for 96, 62 needed off 51 balls, was it? That's very doable. Another boundary would help. They need about 7.58. Yeah, 62 off 44 balls. If they can get another boundary, that would help. 2 balls left in this over. Along the ground, they go for a single. And they get the single. There's a stumping, but he's well over the line in front of the umpire. The score to beat is 157. Ah, that's a forced hit. Will it make the rope? 2 fielders are there. They keep 1 in. And that's a 2. 1 for 99. Mongolian horse gets his half century. Very impressive by the non-medal there. As you can see, just lots of singles. The 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 fours, which is very good. Very impressive. But I have to say, the most impressive thing today is the 0 ranked non-medal. Loss coming back out now. Got a wicket earlier. The only wicket so far for V. Has only given up 11 runs. No, he did not get a wicket. Sorry, I couldn't read. Can his break 100? Wait is the call. That was directly on target, though, and the controller died. Oh, no. Oh, no. Live rigging here, folks. We resume quickly. As you see, yes, that is my gamer tag. Don't worry about it. Wait is the call again. This is great bowling by Loss. 2 dot balls, 2 big dot balls.
Wait there.
Another dot ball. Napoleon can't get out. This is turning into a huge over for V. Another dot ball. Well, from going to giving up 9 runs and over in the last 5, they've now just had 4 dot balls in a row. 59 off 38. This is huge for V. His need to get some runs here. Finally takes a swing. And they finally get Mongolian horse on there. Maybe he can get a boundary. A 6 would be huge, but I don't think he'll get the 6. Napoleon is at half strength now. He is very tired after receiving all those bowls from loss. Mongolian horse is on his 50. He looks for the boundary, and he should get it. No, it's just short of the line. That's great fielding there. Only 2 given up. Charles Taft is after this, and then Charles II. Napoleon to face. Waits the call. They need to get runs. Their run rate is 7.29. They need 9.3. 56 off 35 runs. They need to start hitting boundaries. That is not a boundary. That is another dot ball. Napoleon has run out of steam. Napoleon needs to walk. He needs to either get himself out or start hitting 6s because he's too tired. He needs to get out. It's just the same shot. It's the only shot he can make, and it's not going to go anywhere because he's too tired. He's been out there for too long. Napoleon needs to go. Every time he stays there, he's in trouble. That's 3 dot balls. He blocks the shot again. They can't afford this. No fun allowed for Napoleon. They force the single. Can Mongolian horse get a boundary? That's what they're doing. It's just 4 dots, a single, and then pray that Mongolian horse can get a 6 to make up the missed runs by Napoleon. They force the single, and that will make Mongolian horse face the new bowler. So that was smart batting there. But that's 2 overs gone and only 3 runs given up in the 2 overs. As we reach the final 5 overs of the game, 54 needed off 30 balls. A run rate of 10.8 needed. And that is not the start they needed. 1 for 105. They need to go for this. He has to go for 6s. He can't play for these along the ground. He's too tired, but he has to go for them. They want LBW. That was definitely pad before. Umpire says no again. Well, they've already used their challenge, so they're not going to get another one. 53 off 28. Napoleon's too gas. It's over. Unless Napoleon gets out, they have no chance. Another drop ball. Waiting is the call again. And that has to be the game after those 3 overs. In 3 overs, his have run 5 times. Their run rate is now tripled on what they needed. This has been a bowling masterclass from V. Or you can say that the zero-ranked player, the gimmick where he's on 34 runs, he's finally too gas. He has embraced Cuckman. Kojima in here now, and he's just going to... he's just going to do what he did best, and that's bleed runs. He's 0 for 8 after 2. The current run rate is now 12. Even a dropped catch from the keeper would not get the Mongolian horse out. It's a single. Napoleon to face. But it's over. Unless someone gets out, it is over for his. (51 of 21). On paper, possible. In reality, impossible. Oh, bowled him! Mongolian horse is gone on the Yorker. Bowled by Kojima. 37 balls, 55 runs. It's a clean ball. He played defensive, but it went around the bat. That's a fantastic ball. But we saw something similar happen. That's middle stick as well. That is absolute plum. That is bowl of the tournament. That is absolute plum. I will not see another better bowl than that. But Gallisanelli is coming in now. It's a medal player. Dante bailed out V. Can Gallius and Hallius do it for his? Well, Napoleon now facing. Dropped. Four overs to go. Sorry, 3 overs to go. He's in. Back on. 2 overs, 15 runs given up. Garson Olius coming out now. He needs to start hitting boundaries. A run rate is 16. He needs to hit 3 sixes and over, pretty much. And that could be the first. It's a 6. It's the first. Needs a couple more, but that'll do. It's a good start. Dante did it for V. Surely Goss can do it for his. But he'll need another good batting partner, because if he gives away a 2 or 3, then he's got Napoleon, who's not going to do much. That's the first 6. Goes again. That will be short. In fact, it's caught. Gone. He's in with the cat. Caught by Kojima. He's in, Bolden. Gaisanolius gone after smashing a 6. Slowly walks off his creep. He's only been out there for 2 minutes. Well, he's gone for it. He had to. He had to go for these 6s. And he's been caught, sadly. No drop catches here. Taft coming out now. It's a wicketkeeper here for his. Along the ground, wait is the call. Less than 18 balls left in the match. And this is comfortably V's victory, unless they just start giving him super slow balls to allow these to be smashed for 6s. Looks for the boundary. Won't reach it. Taft is finally facing. Along the ground, doesn't beat the fielder. .43 needed off 13 balls. It's over. It's over. They need a 6 to maybe even tickle it, but not with shots like that. Good Yorker by he's in. 3 for 115. And it's just been a bowling masterclass by Kojima, he's in, and Sarnak in these last 5 overs to really stifle the game. Kojima back out now. They need 21 off this over to stay alive, which is not going to happen. Catches the call. Napoleon will run a single. It is. Don't worry about it. That's a big hit. A good hit. Will it reach the rope? It does. It's a 6. Taft gets a 6. That's what they needed. But they still need another 5. 5 sixes will be enough to win the game. That's 1 6 down, 5 to go. If they can get another 5 sixes, they will win. So it's doable, but very unlikely. Especially a shot like that is played. It's only a single. Kojima to Napoleon. And Napoleon is so gassed. They even risk the single because they know they need to do it. Eight balls left. 34 needed. Catches the call. Will it make the rope? Instead, no, it's caught. Taft is gone. Caught by Christopher Robin. Kojima with the bowling there. Taft got an early 6, but then he was gone. As we have 7 balls left, 35 runs needed. On paper, it's still possible for his, but it's all over. V's Dante in those last 2 overs have really bailed out V after his had some masterful bowling in the first innings. Charles the second coming out now. He is a gold medal, but I just doubt that he'll be able to do anything. 2 for 20 Kojima's on. His last bowl of the game, and it's batted away by Napoleon, so Charles has a chance to face. 6 balls left, 35 the target. If Charles gets 6 sixes, they win the game, but I just don't see it happening. Here we go, 34 needed of 6. And the first is along the ground. It is now mathematically impossible for his to win the game. Unless there is a wide or no ball, it is impossible for them to win. All they're playing now is for pride. It's a single. Napoleon's facing. 4 for 125. Napoleon has been a thorn in V's side. Oh, Napoleon with a big hit. Does it reach the rope? It does. He got a 4. He's only 4 away from a half century. That will be the first non-medal player to get a half century. He is currently the best non-medal player, or 0 ranked player in the tournament. Here we are, second last ball. We're just playing to see if Napoleon can get his found the gap. In fact, they go for 2. And the controller dies, and oh, look at that! Oh my God, it's 3 no balls in a row, and in doing so, it's just been 4 sixes hit by who's batting right now? By Napoleon. Oh, Napoleon got his half century. Oh, what a shame! It looks like V just fumbled on the last ball. No, that's not the case. There, still 1 ball to go. 4 for 132. Last ball of the game, and probably the last ball of the stream. Charles with a hit. He'll get a single. And that's the game. His only get 133. They can't make the target. Dante probably man of the match in my book. He really carried V over the line there towards those last couple overs. But V have won by 24 runs, and that's probably the most convincing game we've had so far of the tournament. V will go on to play U, while his will drop down, and I believe they play VT. They will play VT in the losers bracket there. Dante, man of the match, no surprise there. 51 non-out, loss with 31. Christopher Rubber 19. Todd Howard on 18 there. Holy Roman Empire 230. Gas Alias 19. Charles 129. Morwise 135. His Napoleon not out for 47 off 64 bowls, but that's 64 too many. Mongolian was 55 before he got out. Holy Roman Empire, and it was 10 goals from that. Fantastic bowling there by Kojima, probably there as we look at the run rate. 16, 31, 9, 11, 18, 51, 19. Taft with the bowling there. Holy Roman Empire with a couple good catches as well. 5 for 157, which was a good record. Dante just really bailed them out towards the end there. 51 off 22 bowls is amazing. As you can see the run rate there, best bowler of the day clearly goes to Charles II. 29 runs off 1 wicket, but he's over 4 overs. You could argue Gus and Bomber Harris, but they only gave 1 over. They both gave 1 extra. And then you can just see here, Napoleon was the big crutch there. Big issue. 47, 774, 1055 there. And you can look at the bowling. Kojima, best bowler today, only giving up 20 runs off 4. Got 2 wickets himself. But yeah. So join us tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow. If we do tomorrow, it'd have to be during the day, which is like 7 a.m. UTC, which probably is not going to happen. We have U versus V, and the winner of that will go in the winners final against MLP, and then we'll finally go through the losers bracket until we get to the grand final. So yeah, exciting. We know MLP is either in the winners final, the losers final, the grand final, but who will meet them in the winners final? Will it be U or V? Who knows? I don't. Come out next time. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it. I hope you